Aloha, I'm Tanya,
And I'm Anna.
and we're the Paradise Patriots. Welcome.
Welcome. How are you today?
I'm doing good. How about
Awesome. I'm doing awesome.
you? So, what do you want to talk about today?
Girl, we got some things going on. We have some of our ohana that needs some support and help. So,
Okay.
I've known about
We're
this.
taking it local today then.
We're taking it local
Okay.
on a couple of things. But so we have several developments going on in Kona that are questionable. So I'm going to start with one that already happened, and that's going to give us the bigger picture
Okay.
of what's happening in Kona.
Fill us in.
So for years there was a struggle over the development of Kahalu'u. That was a very popular local surfing place, camping. It was rustic and pristine. And then it was bought up and it went through a lot of different changes, and it finally ended up, as anybody who drives through there now can see, it became a wealthy gated community. But so I'm going to read how it's advertised as a
On justlux.com.
right as a luxury.
Which feels so big island.
I know. Let's just all go buy a lot. Anyway, so
Okay, you too.
so this is how it's being sold across, probably internationally. A new development called Kahalu'u is springing up on the Big Island of Hawaii. Situated in an area that was once home to the great Hawaiian king Kamehameha, its shores are steeped in history, sacred artifacts, grounds, and carvings are everywhere. Built carefully on 450 acres around this new resort community is becoming an elite hotspot.
Oh, elite hotspot.
Yeah, with a slew of celebrity names already looking to snatch up properties. Major business moguls and sports stars like Lindsay Davenport are already building homes. Top politicians are taking tours, and movie stars are trickling in to check it out. But we're not naming names. Kahalu'u's striking beauty.
Lindsay Davenport.
She probably got, or I don't even know who that is. Kahalu'u's striking beauty and location is certainly an initial draw. The land is a rustic mixture of rolling golf greens, sacred ponds, lava rocks, palm trees, and a never-ending stretch of Pacific.
Rolling golf greens and sacred ponds.
Right.
There's an oxymoron for you.
Right. Almost half sold. There are 700 plots available here with homes so far,
700.
ranging from 3 million to 25 million. A private resort-style community open to only the most elite applicants. The development offers a feast of activities, amenities, comforts that pretty much knock our socks off on a recent trip we took to evaluate the grounds. Still under construction, some things we did have to take their word for it, but we were impressed nonetheless.
And they wonder why Hawaiians are angry.
Why we, yeah.
I'm not Hawaiian and I'm angry about that.
So most of them have their own swimming pools, 21st
So
century.
we need a 25 million.
Yeah. So,
Holy cow.
21st century luxury, trivial elements in the luxury realm, high quality. The stellar service is the norm, but the truly great
What was the
luxury
headline
experience.
of this whole
Is
thing? There's a great headline, I think, too.
new ultra exclusive Hawaiian development attracts the world's elite.
With its stellar amenities and charm.
Yeah.
Golf courses and sacred ponds.
Right. Well, we can't even afford.
Oh my gosh.
We can't even afford affordable properties.
Right.
So why?
How does this impact locals living here?
Well, obviously, that used to be our place. I mean, you
Right.
can still go to Kahalu'u because part of the sellout.
But it doesn't only affect Hawaiians and people who used to use that place. It affects everybody.
Exactly. Well, yes, because Kahalu'u, when it was a surfing spot and it was a camping ground, everybody went.
Mm-hmm.
And there, you can still go there. Part of the trade-off was that they would put in showers and bathrooms and all of that. So they
Like the
upgraded
other ones
a
over
part
there.
of the ocean. They upgraded a part of it, and the locals
So
stay
there's
over
12
there.
parking spaces.
No, I never went there after this happened, so I really don't know. So anyway, my point is, okay, this is there now. Now we have 700 more lots of properties that's so exclusive. The only thing we could ever do was go clean them,
I don't
and then we would have to leave.
It'd probably be a higher paying job than what I have now.
And that rolled in after Four Seasons, right? That whole development
Right.
rolled in, and then we had Kahalu'u roll in. And now we have, and this is the one where I want to draw attention to today, and I want us to support communities. I just clicked. Did you have something to say about that?
Well,
before we
you
go?
wanted to talk about something else.
Oh,
And how it
Right.
impacts us.
On the way from Kahalu'u to the new proposed development, I don't know if anybody noticed it, was the electronic billboard that said we have to cut our water usage down by 25%.
Right.
Okay, so we have all of this development, and I'm just connecting the dots. I don't know where that came from. I've never seen a sign like that before, forever. I've lived here. I've never seen that. So I don't know what the problem is with that, but I do know that we cannot continue to develop the way we're developing and have golf courses and private swimming pools for 700 plots.
Do you think these guys will someday have to restrict the water that they're?
Of course not.
So just the people
They'll be able to buy it.
Right.
They'll be able to buy it to keep non-native species growing in their yard. Anyway, so the billboard, the huge electronic billboard that's on that island in the middle before you get to, I think it's right before you get into Kona Town. Water restriction 25%. It's been up there for a while.
Yeah.
And I watch for it whenever I go to Kona. The last time I was there was maybe 2 weeks ago. It was still there. All right. So now we're going to move on to another development in Kona. Right? We already have this going on. We already have.
So we're already on using restricted water.
On water restriction. You already have traffic backed up to the airport. And now we're going to
build some more?
We're going to build some more. So here we go. Kahalu'u. This is a big deal. This
306
timeshares. 306 timeshares, Kahalu'u.
Condo timeshares?
Right. So there's a couple of things happening with this. First of all, and this is for me an issue of how did our Ali'i Trust become developers? Because the property belongs to Bishop Estate. Right. So how did and we have another one that we're going to talk about at another time. I'm going to just put a little plug in now for the issue that's going on with Lili'uokalani Trust, who also have now a development arm of that trust. But I'm going to go back to this, and I'm just saying,
back to that
how did that happen?
Another video.
How did and this is an issue on a lot of the islands because Bishop Estate is one of the largest land holders in the state. How did that trust turn itself into a development company?
Right.
And how are they developing lands that are sacred and places that are sacred to the Hawaiian people? So, and we kind of, I am jumping around.
Kahaluu, is that on?
It's on Ali'i Drive.
But it's a historic site.
It's historic
already
site.
Documented as a historic
so
site.
it's registered, right?
Mm-hmm.
National Kahalu'u Historic District. It's a state inventory of historic places. It's got all the tax key numbers.
Historic preservation.
Yeah, it's got all of that. The preservation includes agriculture and landscapes. It's important for a community to have this sense of place. There are burial grounds there. There are a host of historic sites there that should be undisturbed. So it's this piece of land, from what I'm reading here from someone's testimony, this piece of land is the only one left untouched by a bulldozer. Makai portions were already destroyed with the Kona Lagoon and the Ke'aho Beach Hotel. Kamehameha Schools is trying to restore what is already destroyed. So how did this happen? And there's another questionable thing of how this all got turned around. So in September 2003, Ocean Villa, aka Town Development from Milwaukee, and I'm not dissing anyone. I'm just giving you what I understand. And a lot, some of it isn't my kuleana because I'm not a Kona. I don't live in Kona, but I'm just supporting our people there who are fighting this right now. Obtained rights. So this Town Development in Milwaukee obtained rights to purchase the property, the 42 acres, from a third party. It's really, wrap your head around this. They purchased the property from a third party who entered into a purchase with Kamehameha Investment. The sale was contingent in regard to being able to build the timeshares, and it has been 13 years since that time. So,
wow, they've been doing this for 13 years?
Well, and how does that work? So last year it seemed to be a sudden urgency to get the project approved. So the project's been milling around, as I understand it, for 13 years, and suddenly they want the project approved.
Right.
So I would assume, of other land issues that I've been involved in, a lot of changes have happened in 13 years that I would say they shouldn't be getting a permit.
Right.
Because
Right.
13 years, Kona doesn't even look the same
Right.
after 13 years.
They should
There's
have
issues,
to go back and revisit that.
right? And there's
initially.
the issues. I don't know if you remember that. I think it might have been about 2 weeks ago. There was a sewage spill from the beach area right there, and people were advised to stay out of the water. And that sewage spill was tracked all the way to Heiau Bay.
Wow.
That's how far it traveled. There wasn't an alert put out about it, but I read about that. So, I mean, and they don't want to tell people because they don't want the tourists to not come here, right? Because I'm serious.
It's true.
And then at that same time,
True.
I'm going to talk about this. I'm jumping around a little bit, but I'm going to talk about this because where I'm going to end with this, we have another terrible mess with the dairy, and all of that filth from the dairy was going into the stream and pouring into the ocean. So we had what I would call sewage, right? Because that's the mess from the dairy, the cow manure and all of that flowing from that end, and then we got the sewage flowing from this end. It's like, what are you doing to our home?
Right.
What are you doing? So our brave people have stepped up, and they filed a contested case here. I was listening to some of the testimony. It's been awesome. Our people on this island are awesome and amazing. They got together. The testimony has been incredible. The research has been incredible. And how can you help? So, here's what you can do. You can still, come on. You can still write a letter to the editor, which would be awesome if you wrote a letter to the editor. And you can look
To West
this
Hawaii
up.
Today.
Yeah,
or,
West Hawaii Today.
Yeah.
And you can also send an email to Jeff Darrow at hawaiicounty.gov. And we're going to have this also on the front of the video, so you'll be able to catch it.
Jeff.Darrow at hawaiicounty.gov.
Letter to the editor, and a letter to the hawaiicounty.gov. I believe that's probably somebody from the planning department. My closing remark is to the planning department. And I'm going to speak from my own experience of working with the planning department and having been involved in things that have been going on as long as I've been active. They approve things without really taking stock of what's going on, in my opinion. Some of the things that I've been involved in, they didn't even bother to come and walk the area. They didn't know anything about it. They didn't really talk to the people, and then you end up having to fight them.
Right.
And we don't really want to do that. I don't know why we can't work together. Before things come out, really, you should visit the community. In my opinion, you should talk to people who know that area. You should understand the uses of the place before you give approvals and permits. So that's my manao on that, and you end up having your citizens fighting you for years. And
it
it's
doesn't
because
have to happen that
no,
way.
and it's because of the way they do things. It's because of the
is.
way they do things. So I don't, and let's kind of back up a little bit. $3 million a lot, $25 million a lot. Where does that money go?
Why do we need that?
Well,
here?
and are we getting anything out of that?
No.
No. All of that money, right? All of that money's being carted out of this island. Those resources were given away, and that money is being carted out of here.
And they're going to create garbage,
Yep.
and they're going to use our water.
Water.
Which we have to be restricted on.
Yeah,
I know.
and jobs.
And jobs.
We'll get jobs.
Crappy ones.
Yeah, like I said, it's the only way we'll get in there is we'll be able to either clean their place or scrape the swimming pool. Yahoo! Or wash their cars or something. And they're not here. It's not that they're even going to be part of our community. They're
because they're part-time anyway,
right.
too. So.
Yeah, it's just another home, another investment or something like that.
Investment.
So anyway, we don't need 306 more timeshares. If you love our island, if you live in Kona and you love Kona and you don't want to see any more of this, you got to step up.
And there's a timeline on this, right?
Right. The contested case is still, I think it's still in process.
Okay.
So your letters will matter. Letters matter. We were able to stop 1469 doing emails overnight. So if the county, if the planning department gets enough feedback from the community, they'll consider it. They'll reconsider their ideas. So don't, it takes a couple minutes to write a letter. If you look online, I think they even have a form letter you can follow. So
excellent. Thank you. Thank you for enlightening
You're
us on
welcome.
that. I'm Tanya,
And I'm Anna.
and we're the Paradise Patriots.
Aloha.
Aloha.